You stand up from the couch. Your dog stands up too. You walk into the kitchen, and a moment later, you hear quiet footsteps behind you. You head toward the hallway, and before you even reach the next room, your dog has already appeared at the doorway. Many dog owners joke that their dog is their shadow. It can feel funny at first, almost like you are being gently followed by a loyal companion who refuses to lose sight of you. But this behavior is not random, and it is not simply about affection. Something deeper is happening in your dog's mind every time they follow you from room to room. The truth is that dogs do not just follow people, they track them. They observe patterns, monitor movement, and quietly update an internal map of their environment. What looks like simple attachment is actually the result of instincts that developed over thousands of years of living and working alongside humans. Most people assume that dogs follow their owners because they are needy or overly dependent. The common explanation is that the dog simply wants attention or is afraid of being alone. In some cases, that may be partially true, but it is far from the full story. Dogs did not evolve as solitary animals. Their ancestors survived in social groups where individuals constantly monitored the actions of others. Movement within the group carried meaning. When one member stood up, others paid attention. When the leader of the group moved toward a new area, the rest often followed. Ignoring movement within a group could mean missing an opportunity to hunt, explore, or avoid danger. Because of this history, dogs developed a natural sensitivity to the movements of those around them. Inside a modern home, that instinct is still active. Your dog is not simply watching you move through the house. In their mind, they are monitoring the behavior of the most important individual in their social environment. This instinct becomes clearer when you understand a simple truth about canine psychology. Dogs evolved alongside humans in a way that few other animals have. Over thousands of years, they adapted to read human behavior with remarkable precision. They learned to notice subtle cues that signal changes in activity. The sound of footsteps, the shift of body posture, the direction someone turns their shoulders. These small details can reveal what might happen next. Because of this, dogs pay close attention whenever you move. Following you is often the easiest way for them to gather information about what is happening in their environment. The first reason for this behavior lies in a basic predator instinct: movement tracking. In nature, predators are highly sensitive to movement. A moving object could mean prey. It could also mean another predator entering the area. For animals that rely on observation to survive, tracking movement becomes automatic. Dogs still carry this instinct even though most of them no longer hunt for survival. When you stand up and begin walking, your movement naturally draws your dog's attention. Their brain registers the change immediately. Something in the environment has shifted, and the instinctive response is to track it. Following you allows them to keep that moving element within sight. In many cases, this behavior happens almost automatically. Your dog may not even consciously decide to follow you. Their body simply responds to motion in the same way their ancestors responded to movement in the wild. Another important reason dogs follow their owners is something researchers often describe as safety mapping. Dogs constantly build mental maps of their environment. These maps help them understand where important things happen. Food appears in certain places, rest happens in others. Play and interaction occur in specific areas of the home. But one of the most important reference points in this map is the human they live with. In many households, the owner becomes the most stable and predictable element in the dog's daily life. Your routines shape the rhythm of the environment. When you move through the house, your dog updates their internal map. They keep track of where you are because your location often signals where activity may happen next. Staying near you means staying near the center of the environment where events unfold. This leads directly to another psychological factor that explains why dogs follow people so closely: micro-routine prediction. Dogs are extraordinary observers of patterns. They notice small details in daily life that humans rarely think about. For example, Your dog may recognize the exact sequence of actions that usually happens before a walk. You stand up, reach for your shoes, pick up your keys, and move toward the door. Over time, these actions become predictable signals. The moment you stand up from the couch, your dog's brain begins analyzing the situation. Is this the start of a familiar routine? Are you about to walk into the kitchen where food sometimes appears? Are you heading toward the door that leads outside? By following you, your dog gathers more information to confirm their prediction. If you walk into the kitchen, they know something interesting might happen. If you move toward the door, the possibility of a walk increases. Following behavior allows them to stay close to these potential opportunities. Another layer of this behavior involves emotional synchronization. Dogs are extremely sensitive to human emotional states. They can detect changes in posture, voice tone, breathing rhythm, and even subtle shifts in scent caused by stress hormones. When your emotional state changes, your dog often notices before you even realize it yourself. If you suddenly stand up with tension in your body or move through the house quickly, your dog may follow simply to understand what is happening. They are reading the situation. Is something wrong? Is there a reason for the sudden change in energy? Following you allows them to monitor your emotional signals more closely. In many cases, dogs are not just tracking your physical movement, they are tracking your emotional state. Following behavior can also function as a form of silent communication. Dogs do not always bark or whine when they want something. Instead, they often rely on proximity to express their needs. A dog who quietly follows you into the kitchen may be signaling curiosity about food. A dog who follows you toward the door may be hoping for a walk. A dog who follows you into another room and sits nearby may simply want social interaction. By staying close, they position themselves where communication can happen naturally. They do not need to make noise. Their presence itself becomes the message. When all of these factors combine, the behavior begins to make much more sense. Movement tracking draws their attention when you stand up. Safety mapping encourages them to stay near the most stable figure in their environment. Micro-routine prediction pushes them to investigate what might happen next. Emotional synchronization keeps them alert to changes in your mood. Silent communication allows them to express needs without barking. Together, these instincts create the familiar experience many dog owners recognize, the feeling that their dog is always just a step behind them. The deeper insight behind this behavior is that dogs organize their world socially. Their understanding of the environment is built around relationships, movement, and shared activity. In your dog's internal map of the household, you are not simply another object moving through space. You are the central figure around which many daily events revolve. Your actions influence feeding times, walks, play sessions, rest periods, and social interaction. Following you helps them stay connected to the flow of these events. This is why many dogs appear calm when they are near their owners, but restless when separated for long periods. Being close allows them to maintain awareness of the social environment that gives their world structure. Distance removes that reference point. Without it, the environment becomes less predictable. Seen from this perspective, following behavior becomes much more meaningful than it first appears. It is not a sign of weakness or neediness. It is a reflection of how dogs naturally organize their understanding of the world. To your dog, staying near you means staying near stability. You represent the center of the environment where movement, safety, and routine come together. And every time your dog quietly follows you from one room to another, they are not just being your shadow. They are simply staying close to the place where their world makes the most sense.